speaker is Maya. She will speak about the Universal Periodic Review. So Maya.
Thank you so much. My colleague Neil will share the presentation for me. And I already say that it's on the screen. First of all, hello everyone. It's Maya from Georgia. And I have a pleasure of talking about Universal Periodic Review. And I am coming from Georgia, as I mentioned, and I'm belonging to the religion minorities in Georgia. And thank you so much, my colleague, to present detailed information about different UN mechanisms. And I will be focusing about UPR. I wanted to raise a poll in the chat about if you have a familiar about Universal Periodic Review, or if you have heard about it, to just get to know what kind of information should I deliver. I hope that my presentation gonna be helpful and useful. So next slide, please. Thank you so much. So today I will speak about the, as I mentioned, Universal Periodic Review, or people usually call UPR. This is one of the most important mechanisms we have in the UN human rights system, and UPR is a unique process under the Human Rights Council where every single UN member state is reviewed by all other states on its human rights situation. And this is a peer-to-peer review. And it's happening in every 4 years and a half. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. So in this slide, I'm gonna be focusing why it's important to rate UPR, and UPR provides each state the opportunity to regularly report on the action it has taken to improve the human rights situation in their countries, and to overcome and overview challenges to the enjoyment of the human rights, and receive the recommendation and informed by multi-stakeholders inputs and pre-session reports from UN member states for the continuous improvement. So this is a very, very important for the countries who want to change general human rights situation in their countries. And next slide, please. So here I'm gonna focusing more details, how many countries are participating in the UPR. As I mentioned from the beginning, UPR cycle, it's every 4 years and a half. And there is all UN member states collaborating in the UPR system, and it's totally 193 countries, and it's entire UN membership, as I mentioned. Can you please mute it? Thank you. So how does it look like? So when the country will submit their UPR documentation after there are different stakeholders that I will talk about this next slide, and after the submission it's Neo, I want the first slide first. Thank you so much. I just want to talk about the details for a little bit. What does it mean, UPR cycle? So it's a 14 UPR working group sessions, and it's happening 3 times by the year. And as we mentioned, this is focusing on the human rights progress, etc. And a country will receive a recommendation after the session. So there is 14 states reviewed during the one UPR session, and it's gonna be for each country it has 3 hours. And totally it's gonna be 42 countries reviewed per year. But until the cycle of the UPR, every country will be able to finish their UPR review. So then after the reviewing, the country will receive recommendation, which is kind of like homework for the country to improve the human rights situation in their own country. Next slide, please. So here I'm gonna be focusing about how the UPR process work, and it's totally 4 steps, and I will talk about each steps in detail. So first steps is like the national report that mostly the government submit their own story. And every state writes a report, describe its a human rights situation, if they had any positive challenges from previous UPR. So they basically just writing down the report, official narrative, and mostly they are always very positive when the government submit the UPR, so national report. And in the report and in document, government includes new laws if there is some changes or improvement, anti-discrimination efforts, what does government has done to decrease the discrimination level in the country, and then policy or justice reforms that government has done during that 4.5 years, and social programs, which kind of social programs government introduced during that time to improve different social groups to include it in the inclusive, to create the inclusive environmental in the state. So, but here is very important detail that I want to take your attention. Government often avoids sensitive issues like policy violence or restrictions on the media or minority discriminations or problems inside the prison. So there are, like, let's say the government always trying to talk about positively, and they avoid to talk about problems or gaps that country face. Next slide, please. So, as one of my colleagues has already talked, UPR is a UN mechanism, and as I remember, Inobat has mentioned that this is a huge chance for civil society to describe what's happening in the ground. So the second step of the UPR process is about the stakeholders report, and mainly it's a collaboration statement from different kind of groups like NGOs, human rights defenders, women's organizations, minority and religion communities, youth work, or national human rights institution, and all of those people are gathering, and they try to submit one UPR document, which is very important because there are, as you see, like very diverse group, and they are able to cover a whole country. And because it's very hard to review different kind of UPR from one country, UN always recommended to write a one joint UPR stakeholder reports, and I had a pleasure last year 2024 to be part of the UPR writing process, and I've been in one of the stakeholder group that from Georgia. What this report include, like what we have written in the UPR. It's a stories from the communities, and I was representing the Muslim religion community. It's unreported violation. Mostly the grassroots organization knows what's happening on the ground, and which is not reported to the government, or it's not very famous to other human rights defenders, and it's a problem that government usually ignores. And it's very important that all of those problems or the situations that we are talking has a data in it. And here is some kind of topic that mostly globally, it's an example that NGOs reports include LGBTQ individuals, violence that facing in the country, women have the limited access to the shelters, migration problems and challenges, and the religion minorities discrimination. Next slide, please. So the third step is the interactive dialogue in Geneva after everyone submit their UPR report, like first government and second the stakeholder report. After it's happening here in Geneva, there is a gathering, and we are talking about it's an interactive dialogue. So this is a 3-hour session, and every state is reviewed by all other UN member states. So every country, why the UPR is very unique, that every country gets exactly same amount of time, which is 70 seconds to speak. Does not matter it is a very big country or very small country, everyone is very equal in this process, and they have similar time to talk about defend themselves as a country and talk about their issues. And during the dialogue, the other countries that are engaging in the process ask the question, raise the concern, mention issues from the NGO reports that we are talking in the second step, and makes the recommendation for the country. Can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. So in the step 4, as we talk until now, it's a recommendation time, and let's say it's kind of like follow-up homework for the country to develop themselves. But here is a recommendation can be about, like, I don't know, decrease the anti-discrimination law, change the anti-discrimination law, protecting religious minority, prevent the violence, or ensuring the freedom of expression. And it's all of the recommendation are about improving human rights situation in the country. But thank you, Rima, noted. But I want to mention that state has a opportunity to accept this recommendation, which means that they agree to work on it and improve the human rights situation, or they noted, which means that it's basically no, but in a diplomatic way. And they are saying that we will think about it. Until now, it's noted, and it's up to us, we will work on it or not. So since I have only 1 minute and a half left, I just wanted to say, can you, Neo, move to before the last session? Here I had the example that Georgia has raised it's one of the examples that when Georgia submit UPR reports, and this is a discrimination against Georgian Muslim religion minorities that are based in Georgia. And next slide, please. I wanted to say why it is important. First of all, as I mentioned, UPR is very important to raise the awareness outside of their country. And the example that I have brought, it's about the Muslim community that facing barriers to building a place of worship. And unfortunately, from 2016 until now, we are waiting for permission from the government to give us opportunity to build new mosque, and during that time NGO gather in Georgia, and freedom of religion and faith in this direction we submit the UPR reports, and we were talking about why it's important to follow states to have a religion minority opportunity to worship freely. And next slide, please. So what was the recommendation after we submitting the UPR report is during the Georgia UPR review, other UN member states said that ensure equal treatment of all religion groups, resolve the Batumi Mosque cases fairly, which we were talking about, and prevent the discrimination and improve the local authorities' practices. So the last slide, please, and I will finish in 1 minute. So what's the impact? After we will submit the UPR report, this is an opportunity again for the country, for the civil society to talk about issues that are facing country as in human rights violation, and it's gonna be an opportunity to talk about freely to the international society and make the awareness about your struggle that you are facing as a minority or as a woman in your country, and country will have pressure from the international society to improve your current situation. Last slide, please. Yeah, I think, yeah. So, and wish you good luck, as I just want to lastly saying that in last time it was 2024 because when we have submitted UPR report, and next time it's gonna be in 2027. So I wish you good luck, everyone, and if you represent NGOs or other organization, I will fully recommend you to review UPR official website and get prepared for the next submission to raise awareness about your human rights issues that facing your community or just people or society in your country. Thank you so much, and you can connect me from this information that you have seen in slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya, for your presentation. It was very, very good.